Good afternoon. It's March the 8th, and as you can see, I'm starting in a different place entirely. I'm in the warehouse district. I thought I'd take a turn around down here for this afternoon's walk. I happen to be down here, and it seemed like a good opportunity. Of course, you get a great view of downtown from here. That's looking across the old rail yards and Transcontinental Railway there. We're going to just kind of walk. Oh, it's really warm, at least up against these brick walls it is. It's not really that warm, but I don't know what it is, -6 or 7 or something. We'll just wander around down here in the warehouse district and see what we can see. Well, that's not a good way to go. That sidewalk's completely blocked, so we won't wander that way. We'll go this way. This is Dudney Avenue. I'm only wearing shoes, which wasn't particularly good planning on my part. There's quite a few businesses down here. It's a wine cellar for making wine. Venue B, coffee lounge. Oh, well, this used to be, it must have new, what was it before? Was it a Brewed Awakening? I thought it was. Now it says Venue B. So that's a new label on that. It's a very old building here. It was here when the tornado came through. Apparently the top floor was damaged anyway during the tornado and then was rebuilt. The tornado was in 1912. That's a pretty new hotel over there. So right up here is the spur line. Well, there's a number of nightclubs and things down here too. So here's the railway. Sometimes I've walked along it, but I won't today again because I'm only wearing shoes and it's quite snowy. I'm going to try to stick to sidewalks that are clear. There used to be a barbecue place here, but it didn't last very long. Now it says Sushi Roll at Grill and K-Food. Arigato 2. There's the sign up there. So things keep changing around here. Don's photo said long-standing business. We'll take this next one maybe. I don't want to go all the way to Albert Street. Too much traffic. I'd like to get away from the traffic if I can. There's the keg over there. We'll have to go this way. Maybe this parking lot at least is not too bad. Sidewalk probably hasn't been cleared. No, I'd say it definitely hasn't. So we'll go through the parking lot here. Long and McQuaid. For a very short while, I took guitar lessons here, but I just couldn't afford them and wasn't getting what I wanted. I've tried a couple of times. I've never found a guitar instructor that takes the approach that I feel I want, which is very methodical. And so much of it is like, oh yeah, feely. It's like when I first started taking voice lessons, I had a voice teacher whose approach was very touchy-feely, and I wanted hard and methodical. I never took that many voice lessons. I took some. Anyway, very nice music store though. I bought a few things in there. And carry on this way, there's a sporting goods store here. I really should have put on my boots because I knew I might do this. I wasn't thinking about how much snow there is still around because of the recent storm. Not to mention the lack of proper sidewalks in a lot of the warehouse district here. Right, that's the store there. Oh, don't do that. We want you facing that way. Oh, sorry. I Gimbal's acting up again. There we go. And every once in a while it does that. It just flips around for no apparent reason that I can see. It clearly thinks it should be going the other way, but that makes no sense because then you have the arm of the gimbal sticking out in your face. Clearly you want it going away from you. Okay, let's see what the traffic situation here is. Looks like they're waiting for me. Aero Plumbing and Heating. Micah Auto Services. It's just a very different area, very industrial and hot tubs. Someday we're going to buy a hot tub, maybe. We've got a pad for it. Also, it's the kind of a neighborhood where people park their trucks on the sidewalk. Because they're not thinking of it as a pedestrian neighborhood at all. So that's certainly annoying. But at least they left room for me to walk by. And it's running with nobody in it. Very trustworthy, trusting. So I remember what I said on, what day is this? This is Friday. On Wednesday when I was walking, but I did go up to Saskatchewan yesterday, picked up a new used car. That's our second vehicle. Generally very nice. You can tell it's an older car. Well, it's not really that old. Well, okay, it has 180,000 kilometers on it. That's what I mean by old. So it's certainly, the engine is noisier than I'd like. But it was a great highway car driving it back. It's a 2010 XC90, Volvo XC90. And yeah, well, this sidewalk is pretty much useless. I guess I'll carry on. Seems to have more people than walking dogs along here, it looks like. Tell that. Anyway, I drove that back yesterday, and that's where there was no walk. I took the bus up in the morning and drove the new used car back in the afternoon. Oh, Foster's Shoes here is where I bought the very shoes I'm wearing. Because they sell New Balance, which is my favorite. I don't know what's in here. Doesn't seem to be thriving exactly. It's Albert Street over there. More trucks parked on what should be the sidewalk. Regina Rent-It Center, that's what's in there. You want it, you can rent it, theoretically, if I'm there. It's a little more pedestrian friendly in the summer than it is right now. See? Rent, ditch witch equipment here, all sorts of other things. I don't know what a ditch witch equipment is. Hello, Santanu. Good afternoon. Ooh. Didn't even look slippery, but it was. I was about to say, look, there's always graffiti vandals. The vandals find any wall they can walk on. Ride on, I mean. Maybe they can walk on it too, I don't know. I have absolutely no sympathy for people who do graffiti. I think they should all be locked up. They're not artists, they're vandals. There you go. That's my hot take of the day. Now, it looks like I can keep going that way, but I really can't because that's a compound I shouldn't go into. I think that's the city compound where you bring hazardous waste sometimes. So we'll go this way. I have no destination in mind. I'm just wandering for half an hour or so, and then I'll go back to my car, and then I'm going to Canadian Tire to see about getting a backup camera for the new used car, because it just predates that, being a 2010. They didn't put one on, or it's probably, maybe it was an option and the people that bought it originally didn't opt in for it. Hard to be sure. Lancashire Distribution. They distribute Lancashires? I don't know what they distribute. No peddlers or solicitors. Okay, I won't knock them. Here's the railroad track again. So when the tornado hit in 1912, it basically came along the railroad track here. Straight up from downtown, you can see at the very end down there, you can see the dome of the legislative building. Tracks don't go that far, but they point to it. And the tornado basically came right along here. And of course, you go on that way, it does actually curve up there. There's a road you can see cars on, and the other side of that is Regina Cemetery. That big building over there was a Sears warehouse, but it hasn't been for a long time. I don't know what, if anything, is in it right now. Again, lots of... this is a SAS Power compound, I would say, judging by the truck. I don't think I've ever walked down this piece of road in all the years I've been walking now. I have walked around the warehouse district more than once. There's a sidewalk on the other side, so clearly that's where I should be. An actual sidewalk that's cleared and everything. Work-wise today, I've been doing publishing stuff. I've got what are called tip sheets outlining details about the books I'm publishing this fall. And then on March 19th, I have a meeting with the sales force to talk about them. Help them. Oh yeah, there's escape rooms in there. I've been in there a couple of times, at least once. I'm not very good at escape rooms. I feel like I should be better at them than I am, but they're kind of their own thing. That building is clearly not occupied. Broken window up there on top. Living in the snow. The sidewalk does not carry on to the next block. There's a big pile of snow up there. On the alley. I do appreciate this particular piece of sidewalk, though. It's just a shame it's not going to continue. I guess if I skirt to the left and go through the parking lot, it looks like there's pretty clear sailing up there. Typical of this kind of any town, not a lot of architectural interest to be seen. There's some, but a lot of it is just this kind of stuff. Very, very basic buildings. That's just a box. Judging by the windows, probably built in the 40s or 50s, but still, just a box. Robinson's Supply. What do they supply? I don't know. They supply Robinsons, apparently. I get a little closer, I'll see what they supply. They supply plumbing, HVAC, and hydronics. Another boring building. Now I will come to a somewhat more interesting down here a ways. Oh, like the building on that corner used to be Western Machine and Engineering, which belonged to my grandfather-in-law at one point. Refrigeration supply over here. Now it's, I don't know what's in it, all sorts, he says. But then back there, that was part of his facility too, that green building there, and it's now condos, which I've been in several years ago now, many years ago now. They're not bad, considering what they started with, because I was in that building when it still had various kinds of equipment in it. And you wouldn't have thought it would make condos. Well, the sidewalk is really gone here. Let's go over this way. But yeah, that must have been 20 years ago. There was a cast party in there. I wasn't in Cabaret, but I was part of the production team. So I was at this party in a condo in there. But when I first saw it, it was full of equipment, lathes and things like that. Even further back in time. Time has a way of continuing to advance. Something in there putting out warm air. I think it was that one there, that condo. Behind one of those two doors. That's where that cast party was. Oh, I know where we're coming up to now. Well, this is kind of cool because there's that old Sears warehouse I was talking about. Well, there's no sidewalk here, that's for sure. I guess there's one on the other side this time, and I'm on the wrong side again. But I want to stay on this side because this building is where I first worked when I moved to Regina. It's I am going to go over here just because my feet are getting wet. So maybe I won't worry about walking right in front of it. Not this. This is the old Eaton's building. And now it has a number of things in it. But this one here, whatever it was originally, it's where the Saskatchewan Science Centre had offices when I first moved to Regina. And before we had the building, we had the top 2 floors, I think, or portions of it anyway. So that's where I first worked when I moved to Regina back in 1988. Yeah, I think I'll go this way because the parking lot looks better than the sidewalk does. You can see a lot of snow gets piled up in parking lots as they clear them. Now we're walking back toward downtown again. So yeah, antique warehouse, art gallery. Never been in there. Whatever it looks like now, and emporium. Regina's Battle Arena. I don't know what that means. Centennial Market, it's kind of like a permanent, it's not really a farmer's market, but a permanent craft market. Sometimes I think I should think about setting up a Shadow Paw press table in there, see how many books I could sell. But I never have. But yeah, once upon a time, this was Eaton's, and then it was a Sears discount store, I think. And actually this area is also where the original Saskatchewan Rough Riders used to play. I think it was the other side of this building is where their field was back in the very early days. All furniture must and will be sold. No exceptions. Big piles of snow, but they'll all be melting soon. In fact, a little bit of it today, but really that's just what's on the pavement. If I go down the alley, could go down the alley. I don't want to go as far as Broad, because again, too much traffic on Broad. So am I right at that corner yet? No, not yet. We'll go this way. There's actually 2 more blocks before you reach. Or is it just one? Maybe it's just one. I think the Saskatchewan Writers Guild. Is this the building they were in for a while? Not sure. They've been in various places over the years that I've been in town. Somewhere down here. It might have been that one. It's where they were the first time I did the 24-hour playwriting competition. which was fun because I was in a production of the Mikado at the time, and yeah, I'm sure it was in here. So it was a 24-hour playwriting competition, but I didn't have 24 hours, so I worked considerably less than that and still wrote a full-length play in my putative 24 hours, and came second or third in the competition, I don't remember, which I thought wasn't bad for not really being focused on it. Value Village there is like a, I don't know what you call it, second-hand store, I guess. That building there used to sell farm equipment. It has wonderful, thick wooden floors in it for supporting that. The trouble with crossing here without going to the corner is there's too much traffic, so maybe I will go all the way down to Broad, just to be safe. Starting to work our way back to the car now, where I parked it on Dudney. Or old warehouses, hence the warehouse district name here. Of course, I'm going to just miss the light here, I'll bet. I'm not going to stay on Broad. I'm going to cross and then work my way back a block, just to not be caught up in so much traffic. Is there a light to go the other way? Yes, there is. There's a city bus. People ask me about transportation. There is a bus network. Used to be a restaurant in the old version of the strip mall where we celebrated my daughter's 3rd birthday, and then it burned down, or burned out. That was the end of it. Saskatchewan Arts Board is over there. They've given me money, grant money. Hope they will again. Just one of many things in that building. I'm going to immediately go back to my right again to get away from Broad Street here. Okay, we're really now working our way back to the car. Might be the alley. What does it look like? Boring. So we'll stick to the sidewalk, which is better cleared anyway. Got my feet wet, which is annoying. Saskatchewan is one of the few places in the world where people wear shorts when it's several degrees below freezing. Don't know why people do that, but you certainly see it fairly regularly. I mean, it is several degrees below freezing. It's not short weather by any normal estimation, yet that guy's wearing shorts. I don't know, it's almost like a religious conviction that he'd rather wear shorts than long pants no matter what the weather is. Because I've seen people wearing shorts when it's a lot colder than this. Not me. I'm as tough as the next Saskatchewan guy, but I think that's just silly. Sidewalk's better cleared on this side, so this is the way to walk anyway. Oh, right, I thought that's where I was. This next building, this one over here, the old one, is a dance, well, was a dance studio, dance store. For a while it was where Do It With Class, the young people's theater company that my good friend Robert Erson is artistic director of, rehearsed. So I used to bring my daughter here for rehearsals, and I've been to Christmas parties in there. And then they moved to a new space down at the Southland Mall. But there is a dance studio in part of this anyway. Doesn't look like there's much in the front, but it's hard to know. My daughter's actually been taking some adult tap classes there, which she very much enjoys. Not keep your hand in, but keep your feet in, I guess. This building, I remember it from the walking tours I've led down in this area. Those bricks were made by a machine that would make these, and then concrete blocks really, but with a certain rusticated look to them in that particular building. The building itself is just a box, but that makes it of interest. Because of that little factoid. I don't know what's in it. It was a tattoo parlor at one point. Maybe it still is. Something else I don't understand. People getting tattoos. I've never understood the appeal of, first of all, it hurts. And second, you're stuck with whatever it is you just put into your skin. I mean, I don't get it. Regina Brewing, one of our local not a brew pub, but local brewers. I presume they have yeah, they do. I've never been in there, but they do have a tap room, so I should check it out sometime. My daughter says this whole building, which used to be a bakery, I mean, you used to smell baked bread whenever you were down here because of this baking going on in here. Now it has a number of things in it. Oh, there's the sign there. So I really should check it out. It's kind of a permanent farmer's market in there, too. Isn't anything I did. So yeah, this is the side of it. I think if you're going in there, that's actually the main entrance there. I'm trying to figure out where the music was coming from. It's like, do they have their deck open? I don't think so. Or it's just somebody being annoying with their loud music. I don't remember what this building was originally. It's in my book, Historic Walks of Regina and Moose Jaw, but I can't remember the details right now. I also find people who play their music really loud and blast everybody who doesn't want to hear it. I think that's really rude too. But you know, I'm old. Still, that's got to annoy everybody, not just me. Although I have occasionally had the urge to drive around blasting Stephen Sondheim. You know, to crank up the speakers and blast Passion, or a funny thing happened on the way to the Forum, or Follies, or something like that. I think the guy's following me, actually. That's what it sounds like. Seems like that music is getting closer. So we're headed right back over there, to where the car is. So we're going to come over to that one. I don't know what's going on in there. The windows have been all boarded up for a while. I hope it's being redeveloped, but I really don't know because nothing seems to be happening. We're coming back up to Dudney, and then we'll walk back down this way to where I left the car. Ooh, I don't know if you heard that, but that was freight train cars coming together. Kaboom. See? Definitely not looking healthy. Although it's clearly heated. There's some sort of something putting out warm air right there. There's no sign or anything to say what they're doing to it, so. That's the, what is that rest? Is it a Ramada now? Or a Delta? I don't know. The tall one there. Oh, this was Gale's Forest, but it's Florist. They've closed down, which is... Thought they'd never go around. Never go because they've been there forever. Apparently some interfamilial squabbles what we were told. Baller's Rec Room. I've never been in there. Various fun things to do, though. Arcade, baiting cages, batting cages, food and drink, sports. Baiting cages? Sometimes I wonder what my brain is thinking. Another good look at downtown. One more block and we'll call it quits. Right, the Brier Canadian Men's Curling Championship is on right now, so there's signs here and there welcoming people who are here for that. Curling the sport, not as in, people curling hair. I don't know what that crane's doing either. It's the sidewalks good along here because of the brick wall and the sunshine has melted it off. I'll take off my hat again now. Brick and mortar. Okay, one more block and we'll be done. How long did I go here? Oh, over half an hour. That's not bad for squeezing it in the afternoon walk. The Acheron building is where I shot a music video many years ago, which there's a link to it on my YouTube channel, actually. It's by a local band called The Minnow. You can find a link to it and see a much younger me playing the rather nasty host of the party. I lose my pants at one point, so that's something to look for, as I'm discovered with a guest in the bedroom. While my wife drinks and my teenage son ignores everything. That's the way the story went. Very 80s, 90s really, but the fashions and people are wearing look 80s. Funny thing is, the woman who played my wife in that music video was later, I discovered, was later would be the mother of my daughter's best friend in elementary school. So that's how you know it's a small province, a small city. Always kind of find this kind of cool, this little space between the buildings. All right, that's enough of that. We'll stop here, looking at the downtown as I did as I started. Thanks for walking with me, and I'll be back sometime over the weekend, I imagine. Bye for now.